Oh, and we're live on a Monday
Whoa.
night for another Walking Dead City discussion, talking about Season 1, Episode 5, Stories We Tell Ourselves. I'm Justin. Gentlemen, I'll leave your introductions to you.
Oh, everyone knows who I am. I'm the wubsiest of dubsiest.
Matt said everyone on Grindr knows who he is.
Well known amongst the Grindarians.
Oh, man. And Seth, would you like to introduce yourself?
What's up, everybody? I'm Seth from the men's room, or you can call me the Appalachian American. It doesn't matter.
Seth is, we're in a polyamorous relationship with Seth. He's in another podcast. And, you know, we share him with his other podcastians.
Well, it's my channel. Well, it's my channel, so.
No, it's his channel, so he owns it. So if you don't like it, that's the man to fuss at. So
we say it's a platonic relationship, but once again, these are stories we tell ourselves. Roll credits.
I love how you brought it back to the title.
Roll the credits, boys. We're going to bed.
Hey, that horn is mine to use, sir. But
Seth, get a fresh fade?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh,
nice,
you got a
tight.
fade? Turn it to the side. Let me see it. Oh, snap.
Man, looking fresh, looking fly.
I didn't want to like super duper faded, just a little.
Next time you're in our area, there's a place called 9th Street Barbershop, a town. Well, it's like an hour from. Actually, it's a halfway point between you and us, so I have to meet you there. But they give like those primo haircuts, and they also serve you beer while you're getting your haircut and do like the face massages and the warm towels. It's awesome. But anyway,
we should plan that up sometime.
I'm down. I'm serious. We'll do it. I've been wanting to go back to 9th Street. Just plan on dropping about $1.20 for a haircut, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. Anyways, episode 5. It's stories we tell ourselves. First off, fellas, what did you think?
It was a slow episode. I wasn't crazy on the pacing, but the ending was interesting. It's like,
I find that funny because I actually like this episode. I mean, it's a lot of things in it that remind me of other things, but we'll get into that. Seth, what did you think?
I mean,
hate it.
I'm so glad that Matt said that it was slow because I was like,
oh, see, I didn't feel like the pacing of this one was any slower than any of the other episodes this season. I feel like they've all kind of felt a little slow.
I don't know. This one felt more slow.
Yeah. I just do not like. I don't like Percy.
No, I don't think no matter how hard they'll try to, he'll probably like sacrifice himself because it's The Walking Dead. And let's face it, as much as we love this show, it's a very predictable show. He'll probably sacrifice himself to save Negan, or it'll be like a Negan Percy spinoff.
Yeah.
Negan Percy spinoff.
Anyone out there, Seth being you're kind of our guy in the chair, will you pull up a picture of Jill Valentine from the Resident Evil 3 remake? I want to share this because I don't care what they say. This episode was inspired by other things. One, when she got her jacket off and had like the tank top deal, Maggie was straight up giving me Jill Valentine from the Resident Evil 3 remake vibes, hardcore. Like, we'll pull up a picture of that, and then we'll pull up a picture of Maggie from last night's episode. So that's Jill. What? No, that's a weird pose. That's Jill from Resident Evil 3, the remake that came out, I think, in 2020. Seth, if you can, see if you can find a picture of Maggie from last night's episode.
All right, drop me down.
Drop me down. Also, can we talk about the Zombie King or the Walker King or whatever they were calling him? You cannot tell me that won't inspired by the Rat King and not Left 4 Dead and Last of Us Part 2. If you've played the game, you know what I'm talking about. When you're in the basement, there's this zombie thing that's been down there for like 20 years, and it's basically all these zombies that have melded together to be like one big super zombie. And I'm telling you, the Rat King definitely was the inspiration for the Zombie King. You'd have to like look up that scene, but so I definitely think a lot. And then there was a part where they showed a clock tower, which if you've ever played Resident Evil 3 is iconic with Resident Evil 3. It's the clock tower, which they did leave out of. That's not the best picture of what I'm talking about.
It's the only one I could find with her in a tank top. Everything else is her in the leather jacket.
think our thumbnail, she's got the tank top. Thumbnail for this video. Let me see. I'll see if I can find it. But she definitely looked a lot like Jill Valentine. I was digging it because I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. The third remake, not so much, but everything else. Episode 5. I'm gonna find it. Let's see. Where's that thumbnail that I used? Yeah, like this one right here. She's even got the gloves. All she needs is like the elbow pads, and she would look just like Jill Valentine. I guess I need to share my screen and share that with you, don't I?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's put that over here on a separate screen. Let's share. Sorry for the slow pacing. Just showing you what I'm talking about, because I'm telling you, they definitely were inspired by Jill on this one. Let's see. Present. Share screen. Share screen. I hope none of my... There we go. All right, share. All right. So right there, that is some Jill Valentine vibes from RE3. Like that you pulled up. I definitely, and like I said, there's even a part of the episode where they show a clock tower. So I definitely feel like this showrunner was given some nods this episode to other things like Resident Evil. And again, let's see if I can find it.
I mean, that's cool. That's cool and all, but like, why would you take your jacket off?
If it was hot and humid in that basement.
I mean, I get that, but like, you're talking about leather jacket.
You want your jacket to smell like zombie farts? You don't want that stuff to permeate.
This is the Rat King from Last of Us 2. This is basically, like I said, it's a bunch of infected that have just been in a basement together for like 20 years, and they meld together to create this one like super zombie. And I'm telling you that and they even in the behind the scenes of this episode, the showrunner called it like the Zombie King or the Zombie King or the Walker King or whatever. So it's definitely, I definitely think there's some things that they borrowed from other stuff this episode. Let's see. Drago says, yes, I thought of Resident Evil 2. And says, well, I guess Negan's getting away with killing the big guy. Well, but what I don't like is, did y'all see the scenes from next week's episode? Like we see once again, Maggie's putting a knife to Negan's throat.
Some things never change.
Well, I mean, she had to sit there and be like, oh, he's a monster. You don't know him. And it's like, oh God, again.
I mean, like how many times we go around circles with this, man? Like Maggie and Negan make some kind of peace. Maggie can't accept it.
Will they, won't they?
I love the discussion, and it's been had many times. It's probably been had on this podcast, but I see it now that The Walking Dead Dead City is on the air. I see a lot of them on TikTok. People saying, like, is Negan really the bad guy? Like, yes, not saying some of the stuff he was doing was not messed up. But at the end of the day, when you really look at it from his perspective, like you've got the satellite outpost, everybody's chilling, doing their thing. Here comes this random group of people that, to your knowledge, I mean, some of his people did have a standoff with Abraham, but other than that, you've not given them any trouble. You've not messed with them. They come in and kill all your people in their sleep. Like dirty.
You forget they did have a standoff and rich people blew them to kabooey.
Well, that's the one I'm talking about with Abraham, Daryl, and Sasha.
And they pulled out an RPG and blew them all up.
But they didn't know who you were then. You didn't know who they were. You know,
totally,
aside from that.
Right. Perceived, like being unprovoked.
You know, at that point, you didn't have any beef with this group, and then they roll into your place, kill all your people. Then you send people, they kill those people. And then when you do finally catch them, you just kill one person. And then somebody messes up and gets another person killed. But like, really, Negan wasn't quite the bad guy in that situation.
Misunderstood.
I think they're pretty equal.
Let's see. He's not the bad guy. They killed multiple. Well, the thing is, Rick didn't, even necessarily know. Like, Rick accepted the mission, Rick and Daryl, to just wipe out Negan and his people before even meeting them, like officially meeting them. They just were like, we'll kill him. The word liar, Jenny wrote on the wall, was obviously a callback to the governor, but it reminded me of the Firefly logo on the wall with liars wrote underneath it in The Last of Us. Wasn't that the flashback scene where you're like, 'cause there's a scene with a pig in that if it's what I'm thinking. And that got me so hard. I jumped so hard when little Piggy come running out the closet. But so where does this fall, Matt, on your line of episodes? I mean, is this dead last now?
For pacing and engagement, I would say it was probably last. Like there were a lot of good scenes to it. Don't get me wrong. Like there's a lot of important stuff that evolved. It seemed very dragged out to me. And like with any group with the main folks, like they start with a group of people and it's just down to Maggie and Jenny. Like where there's like a whole group of people with them now, they're all dead.
What about the betrayal there? That wasn't necessarily like a full-on betrayal.
Yeah, it's doing what you got to do, so I could understand.
Well, that's the problem I have with The Walking Dead is anytime they introduce new characters, you can almost bank they're going to die.
Like they're gone. They're all red shirts.
That's my biggest problem with The Walking Dead's writing is it's just so formulaic and it's so predictable. I mean, you see this big new group of people and you know they're all going to be dead for the show ends.
They forgot to wear their plot armor.
Yeah,
but we also know nor Negan nor Maggie will die, so there's no threat of that. Like I miss the glory days of The Walking Dead where you did not know. I remember back in the day discussions that Rick was going to die. Like that's how on edge they had people with thinking nobody was safe, and then now it's just predictable as all get out.
That's like the end. It's like nobody for a second thinks Maggie was going to get killed.
Oh no.
There's no stakes.
Nope. Not one bit. And it's like I said, I'm always happy to get whatever Walking Dead I can get. But with that said, it feels a little just overdone. I mean, like I said, anytime you get new characters, new interesting characters that I might like, nope, they're dead.
They're dead.
Yeah. No! Kmart Shane.
Poor wish list Shane.
Right. Temu Shane.
Dude, my wife is obsessed with Temu right now.
We just got our first package earlier.
Dude, she's like made everybody download it so she could get like, I guess, credits or something. I don't know.
Apparently, the Chinese government like tracks that.
Of course,
like, something tied in with that. I don't know.
All right, China, you've learned I like buying shit I don't need. Congrats. You figured me out. You've learned my secrets.
Just don't use your phone to access your bank account.
You've won this one, China.
I use my bank account to access my phone.
Let's see. People even thought Daryl was going to die in the Negan lineup. Oh, yeah. I remember on our podcast, we had huge discussions. I mean, that's for 7 months. That's the only thing anybody could talk about was who did Negan kill? People were like, I like the way they did it. I hate that they made it a cliffhanger, though. Like, I like that they filmed death scenes with each character so that even the cast wasn't necessarily 100% sure on exactly who got what and if anybody was trying to leak. But with that said, I had said that I didn't know that I thought it was going to happen. But I remember if you go back to that podcast, I had said, if I were writing it, I would switch it up. Everybody thinks that, Glenn is going to die because that's the way it happened in the comics. I would have him kill Maggie. And then like, we've never gotten an unhinged Glenn arc. Like Glenn's been good from the beginning. He's had a few moments where he got reckless with the governor, but other than that, he's always been a good, pure person. Like, let's see a unhinged Glenn just become a badass and lose his humanity. But no, we didn't get that.
Bastards.
Hope y'all and Jesse doing good. Are y'all doing any more retro reviews? Man, maybe it's so hard to just do these. Like I literally forgot about this podcast until Seth text or Matt or whoever was like, are we podcasting? So, I mean, we want to, but Jesse's super busy all the time too. And I'm super busy all the time. So it's hard to get together for that, but I wouldn't mind getting it back going. Remember y'all talking about that when the episode first aired. Oh yeah. Yeah. I just, like I said, I'm liking the show, but I'm just not liking like how predictable it is. I mean, like, are we not going to get it? Like, I keep saying like, oh, Liquor Beaver. What's cracking, fellas? This show's been surprisingly good.
For the most part, I give it positive reception.
I mean, I think
it's still more positive than negative.
Oh yeah, 100%. I just that's probably like my one big complaint with the Walking Dead is just the predictability. I mean, like you just know everybody's gonna die. Like you know how it's gonna end. You know how it's gonna end. They're gonna set it up for a continuation in case they get greenlit. Like there's no finality with The Walking Dead. I don't think The Walking Dead's ever going to accept an end to the show. So it's like, I don't know that we'll get, I wish that what would make me happy, and I know they're not going to do it, but if this show ended with them like running into Rick, and then the Daryl show came and it ended with Daryl running into all of them, and then the Rick and Michonne show had Daryl, Maggie, and all of them together. This show was always best when everybody was together. Well, when you look at reviews and you look at some of the best episodes, it's always when it's the group all together. Anytime they try to separate people and do solo stuff, those episodes never were received as well because it's a group dynamic that we like. But ever since Papa Rick left us, we don't really get that.
Weird to think that he's part of this universe.
What is it?
It's weird to think that he's part of this universe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's still there. Well, he would have still been in the main show if they wouldn't have killed Carl off.
Stupid.
Let's see. It's the last episode, but it'd be great predictions. My prediction is they'll set up for something else.
Yep.
Fellas?
Yep. Yes. No doubt that it'll cliffhang.
I mean, the way The Walking Dead is, they kind of have like the Marvel, especially the last few seasons, they kind of got like the Marvel deal where basically it's like new villain, kill villain, story over. I feel like the Croat's going to die. And side note, who was that woman? What was the deal with that?
I don't know, but she was the gal that played Darlene on Ozark.
Oh, that's where I knew she looked familiar.
That's it. Now I was like, yeah, like where's this bitch from? That looks like Darlene. Darlene.
I knew her from somewhere, and that's why, man. So she is because I mean, like you see this whole show, the Croat's been the big bad, but then you see that girl come out the office and she's like, "Move, bitch."
Yeah. Get out the way.
So I mean, I guess this woman's like over top of the Croat. And what was the significance of seeing the grain in the silos?
I don't know. My view is a bit grainy of that scene.
Seth, excuse me.
I didn't know. I couldn't figure out what was going on.
Because I know Maggie referenced it earlier in the episode when she said that, they were stealing their grain and, whatever, basically saying like the Croat and them were stealing. So somebody fill me in here. Where is Hilltop now? They built new Hilltop. Where is that at? Because did the Croat come all the way from Manhattan down south?
I don't know if he went.
I don't even know why they split up in the first place.
Yeah, I've got a lot of questions about how the Croat came to Maggie's settlement and how that transpired. Unless excuse me, unless they stole Herschel and then just went straight to New York and like instantly became like the head guys in charge. Slippin' F2 says, I wouldn't mind if it ended with setting up another Negan spinoff webisodes about Here's Negan.
Yeah. I'm okay with Negan centric stuff because he's entertaining. This whole Maggie being mad, Maggie's not mad, Maggie being mad, Maggie's not mad. It's kind of getting old.
It gets old, yeah. Maggie, we're never going to say she forgives Negan. And from a writing perspective, I could understand. She should not ever forgive Negan, but like it's time to move past it. Like you don't have to forgive him. He brutalized your husband. No one expects you to forgive him, but like let's move past it. Like I said, the previews from next week's episode shows her putting a knife to Negan's neck again. And it's like, dude, oh my God. Again, it undoes anything special about the finale of the actual Walking Dead and them having that nice moment, like where he went to run off to save people and, basically tells her, Maggie, I'm only doing this to save you. Like he's basically trying to earn some kind of forgiveness. And it's like they both come to that agreement of, we'll never like each other, but we'll live and let live. And they walk away, or Negan walks away. And then it just kind of completely undoes all of that. Drago says, the grain. The theory is he didn't steal the grain. It's a setup to get Negan to New York. New York.
Yeah. Because, wasn't Jenny supposed to fire off that flare at some point to indicate where she was at or where she was going?
And that's usually what people use flares for, yes.
But yeah, she found that silo full of grain.
But it's set up to, I mean, so I don't know. I'm interested to see where it's going to end. Like I said, overall, I've enjoyed the show. Anytime I get some Walking Dead, minus some of the episodes of Tales of the Walking Dead, because some of those are pretty damn boring. But other than that, I'm always happy to get more Walking Dead. I don't know. We'll have to see how I'm interested in the Daryl show as well. That looks pretty gothic. Looks like it could be good. I'm hoping they're going to capitalize on that variant of zombie that runs and is smart, being that we know from, what was it? The Walking Dead World Beyond. We know that started in France in sense of like, well, I don't know if it started, but we know France has those aggressive variant zombies quite a bit. So
I still haven't watched that show.
It is like, just read the synopsis online and call it a day. It is the worst thing The Walking Dead's ever done. I'll take Daryl and Beth any day over The Walking Dead World Beyond.
Wow.
There was like one good episode in both seasons, and that's it. Like one good episode, and that is it. The rest of the show, pure garbage. It's like, what if The Walking Dead was on the Disney Channel?
I watched like one episode of it, but it was just like, I can't do this.
The acting is not good. The story is boring. The pacing is god awful. It's slow as hell. And the kids you're supposed to be rooting for, most of them, well, at least the main chick, I can't remember her name, but the main lead character, you just want to see her get eaten more than anything, because it's like, we're a plucky gang of teenagers, and yeah, these things wipe out entire militaries, but with our can-do attitude and the bond of our friendship, we'll conquer the world.
The power of love and friendship. We have saved America.
I mean, it's really, it's awful, man. I mean, the only thing good it does is there is a scene with, why is her trash lady? What's the Jadis? There's a scene with Jadis with an awful haircut, and she references Rick to an extent. It's like I said, just read the synopsis. Don't waste any time watching that god awful show. Like, I'm trying to think what's something that I absolutely hated, and I guarantee I didn't hate it as much as I hated that show. Me and JP were so stoked about it. We started podcasting, got like 3 episodes in, and we're like, we hate this.
Yeah, to all the chat out there, if the stream just crashed, reload the my stream just crashed on the other one on my other screen. So
What?
Yeah, just refresh.
It back up?
Yeah, it came back up, but it like completely crashed. I got an error message from YouTube.
Error.
WT hell.
So,
all right. Well, I thought it was a decent episode. I think this is the one that I liked, but I mean, I think, but also I was enamored with like the nods to Resident Evil 3 and Last of Us and all of that. Yeah, the only 2 characters that were decent were Huck and that other guy, the like adults. Huck, I liked her character a lot. This is talking about The Walking Dead World Beyond. I liked Huck. Huck was awesome. And then the guy, what was his name? But anyways, he was a badass. I liked him too. You're right. They are the only 2 people in that show that were worth a damn. Also, too, I want to start doing this each podcast just because why not? So I'm getting old. I don't really party like I used to. So in my spare time, a lot of what I do is I just read.
What?
So I want to start. I probably
mute
Matthew, mute your mic.
No, we're good.
Mute him.
No shit, I forgot I can do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I want to start each podcast ending it with a book recommendation because I go through 2 or 3 books a week, and I'm going to tell you, I've been reading this book right here, and I cannot recommend it enough. This book is awesome. Like what the front says is spot on. like this has got to be made into a movie or something at some point. And in this little description is so true. Inception meets True Detective. And I don't normally like mysteries or whodunits, but like this is some like Inception, I would also say meets Interstellar. Like it's some wild stuff. So if anybody out there in our podcasting audience likes to read and you're looking for something new, a lot of what I read is horror. This isn't really horror. This is more sci-fi. You know, it has been great. Like this book is between 300 and 400 pages, which isn't a big book, but I mean, I've gone through it in like half a day. I mean, it's that good. I just couldn't put it down. So I'm going to start this on every podcast. Book of recommendations, The Gone World. I think it come out in like 2018, man. Order it, read it. It's freaking awesome. But anyways, I digress. So let's see. Before we wrap up, Drago says, it is getting repetitive. 2 people that won't die against a massive group. I wonder what will happen. Yeah, exactly. And then, oh, what happened? Dang. What happened to the retro reviews? Life happened. But we'd like to get back to them. I think Jesse enjoyed them. Oh, that's awesome. Drago says there is a movie being made for that. IMDb says in development. Oh, that's awesome. If The Gone World comes out as a movie, dude, Christopher Nolan has got to be in charge of it though. Like that is definitely a Christopher Nolan type story. But it's interesting. This doesn't ruin the plot. I mean, you can read this online, but if you like parallel universes or like singularities or like, it's like the thought is so cool. Like if they travel in the future and they travel in the future to see what might have caused this in the, or what the result of this was in the future, because they're traveling to it's technically a possible future. So you go to that future, you interact with people, they've lived their whole lives. But the second you return to your time, that reality ceases to exist. Because you're changing it by just going back. Like it's just a possibility. It's really good, man. If you like sci-fi and things like Interstellar and, Inception and stuff, I'm telling you, that book's phenomenal. Now that I know it's going to be a movie, even more excited. If you look up Z Library, you can get a bunch of free books. Like paper, well, I like physical books now. I don't do e-readers.
Then you have to go to Z Library.
Go to Z Library.
And they would have book in French.
Actually, our library just gave away a bunch of books. And I had somebody go by and they picked me up a bunch of books I got to get from them. So, but anyways, we'll be back next Monday for the finale. I'll have another book recommendation. And we look forward to seeing how they're going to wrap this up. I really hope they finish it strong. What would y'all rate the show thus far on a scale of 1 to 5? And I'm going to pull up one screen at a time, starting with Seth. Let's see them fangies.
Out of 5? First off, hit that link down there. Check out our Facebook. Check out all the other stuff. Go hang out over there. Let's build a community. I'll try to be better about posting when we go live a couple hours ahead of time because Justin doesn't. So,
what's in it for me?
Yeah. Well,
anyways,
Drago said 3 out of 5. I was kind of thinking between 2 and 2.5 out of 5.
I was thinking 3.5 out of 5.
I was going to go at least like a 70%.
Yeah, but you're the group optimist, so that fits.
Seth and I are jaded old bastards. We've lost hope.
I don't want to hear it, Matt. You like most everything I like too, so I do not want to hear it. This is like the one time in the history of this podcast you and Seth have ever agreed on that.
No, dude, he's worse off than I am tonight. He was all like, I didn't like it. I at least said there was some positive.
Matt's grumpy because he just got back from the beach. His opinion.
I am. I'm very jaded from that whole experience.
He gets back from the beach, hates everything.
Well, and also he shouldn't be too upset because we're going back to the beach in Saturday after next.
God, I hate you guys.
Oh, I can't wait. I
need a vacation, something fierce.
I got my little fat daps ready to go.
Oh, did you really, Matt? So at this place, people will high five each other on golf carts. I think it's really kind of dumb, but it's a tradition there. I respect it. It was cool when I was a kid. Now that I'm older, I'm like, I don't want to be touching all these strangers. Matt down there,
like, hey,
Matt down there loves touching strangers. So Matt he bought these little bitty fingers that he's going to put on his
little tiny hand puppets that go on your finger.
He's going to give people tiny paps. But
anyway, paps and skibbity paps.
We'll see you guys next week for the finale. In the meantime, make sure if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. JP is going to be joining me for a Patreon cast probably sometime this week. So if you're over on the Patreon, make sure to be looking for that. We'll catch up with him and he's been on a wild ride the last several months, and we'll talk about it. But in the meantime, I'm Justin.
Matthias Wubsius Dubsius III, MD Esquire.
What's up? I'm Seth from the men's room. Hit the link down there. I just posted it for my channel.
Where'd it go? Boom. All right, I'm going to give you guys 10 seconds. Click the link.
Yeah, hit that link. Come hang out with us on Friday night. We talk all kinds of stuff. And then Saturdays is gaming. Coffee and gaming. We have fun.
All right, you had enough
all
time.
All kinds of stuff.
If you didn't click the link, just rewind and click it. Bye.
See you.